What is up, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, and I'm here with the Blackberry Z10, long-awaited device from RIM. There I go again. Sorry, not RIM, Blackberry. And a lot of the fans been waiting for this. The industry in general has been waiting for this. People's been wondering if Blackberry could find their way. Maybe. So one of the things I had to do when reviewing this device was I really had to stop myself from comparing it to anything I currently own or anything else on the market. And once you do that, you might actually appreciate this thing for what it is. It's really not that bad of a device. I enjoyed it, and I think if you could excuse some of its downfalls, which frankly aren't much, you'd enjoy it as well. So let's dig in. Let's take a look at the design. I really, and I'm guilty because this is something I did with the HTC One. I didn't like it because I thought it looked too much like an iPhone 5, and the design of this is actually surprisingly similar to the iPhone 5. So go figure. Now, let's be fair here. This thing must have been in development long before the iPhone 5 even became a thing on the market, and so did the HTC One. But you can't help but notice what a striking resemblance it bears to the iPhone 5. The screen, very, very tapered. I like it a lot. I wish, like the HTC One, there was a little less of a bezel. It makes for a much more attractive device, but it's fine. I especially like this carbon fiber feel at the back. It's not as premium as the Bowls. They had a very leatherish feel, but it's good. I've got no complaints. It doesn't feel like something made of metal and glass, obviously, because it's not, but it doesn't feel like something that's totally plastic. I think it'll suffice the corporate user pretty good. As you can see, the more I touch it, the more the screen becomes filthy. But yeah, what are you gonna do? That's how most smartphones are these days anyway. One of the lesser known features I really enjoy about the Z10, or people just don't mention, is this: the screen is always on. So a simple gesture from down to up unlocks it. I can't get enough of that. We'll do it again. I feel like that's such an awesome feature. It saves the time from pressing the power button. And if it were locked, if I had my password enabled, it would ask me for the password, obviously. So I really did like that feature. But now, it's all about Blackberry 10 once you get this thing locked. And they came fairly hard here. I really like the new Blackberry 10 OS. It's not as polished as some of the other offerings on the market, but it still is really polished. Very, very the icon views here. When you scroll over, you can see these are active tiles that I have open, and they can actually view the information as it's going on in the app. There's just not much going on in these apps right now. So, and you can have up to 8 of these apps open, which isn't bad for multitasking. It does a good job with that. And the UI is very gesture heavy. So one thing you must remember is there's no home button here. You really have to get used to there not being a home button. And myself included, when I watch people use smartphones, the last thing they do when they're finished doing their task is they hit the home button and then they turn the phone off. It's such a, if you think about it, it's such a waste of time. Here, the Blackberry, it's designed to just turn it off. Right, wherever you were is where you were. That's it. That's all there is to it. I sort of had to learn to appreciate this. I'm not sure I can rock with this too much longer. I just enjoy a home button. I don't know. I like to see my grid of icons before I turn my phone off. So I don't know, maybe it's a user habit thing. But like I said, the gestures from the Blackberry up will, if you're in an app, it'll bring you back to what you have currently open. and a simple gesture over, you'll see all of your install applications. Now, a gesture up and off to the right will bring you to your hub. Now, here's where I think the Blackberry is really, well, Blackberry 10 is where it really excels. Here's a list of, the hub is a list of everything. You see the email just came in. It's a list of pretty much everything that goes on in your phone. So, you know, your Twitter, your Facebook, your emails, your texts, they all appear here. And I must say it's very enjoyable to have everything in one feed. Sure, Android has that to a certain degree in the curtain, but a much more extensive version here. Here are your options. You can do a lot of power commands in the email right from here. What I did find was it is a little glitchy, and not a big deal. It's a 1.0 product. You know, what are you gonna do? But I really do like. If you look, I see this. These are emails that I sent. I love being able to see a sent item right there on the home screen. That is such a big deal for me. Now, do I have any Facebook? Here's a Facebook one. It isn't. Here's the strange thing. Sometimes it takes a while to populate. Other times it doesn't. I can't quite put my finger on it. Just not populated. And this is nice. When you pull down, you'll actually see. You'll see your appointments. It's so nice. Back to the. Under the hub, you've got notifications. These are all app notifications, updates, so on and so forth. You've got BBM. We'll get into that in a little bit. And you got your text messages, and then you've got your individual accounts. Perfect. There couldn't have been a better integrated experience or unified view for everything that goes on the phone. I really enjoy that. Now, another big part of the new Blackberry is the BBM, and I wish. I obviously couldn't. I tried the voice chat, didn't work out too well, but I'm not willing to say it sucks. You know, I couldn't find anyone with BBM to test these features. So unfortunately, I can't even review these features. But there is a video chat that you can do, along with some voice messages and the standard BBM stuff. You send your pictures, so on and so forth, and you can even mirror your screen, look at presentations, so on and so forth. So they did a good job in terms of really adding features to BBM and making it much more of an immersive experience, even more so than it was before. The search, BlackBerry offers a unified search, which doesn't seem to want to pop up. I really enjoy this. This is something we've seen in iOS. It's in Android. It's not in Windows Phone. But I really enjoy the ability to just hit a search button and type anything. So, for instance, let's type Best Buy. BUY. Come on. Here's emails. There's a browser link I went to in my history. And then you've got anything else down here. So is it an app? Perhaps you could check it in Foursquare. Let's Bing it, let's Google it. Like, I really appreciate this search, and it makes things so much easier, you know, especially when the entire OS is indexed, and things that come in terms of email and contacts, you know, your appointments, they're all indexed, and it's nice to be able to search them really quickly. Also, what you'll notice BlackBerry's done is they put the link to the camera in the lower right. Now, the camera on this thing it's not the best, and it's far from the worst. In my tests, I've been able to get some really nice shots. What I will say is the autofocus is really intelligent. It's really quick. The only phone that I've seen maybe quicker would have to be maybe the HTC One in terms of how it reacts and how it captures things, and maybe the iPhone 5. So I really enjoyed using the cameras. It gets some really amazing shots, let me tell you. Video wise, with that video stabilization they got going on there, it works. Not as good as the Lumia, but you can tell that the stabilization is doing a job. I really appreciated the camera when it came to this guy. No qualms at all there. Now, when you talk Blackberry, specifically the Z10, one of the things you'll have to acknowledge is the on-screen keyboard. It's such a big deal, right? Because Blackberry fans, they're so used to physical keyboards. That's why they hold on to these things. Now, in the Z10, you know, they did a fair bit of work when it came to the keyboard and how it did predictive texting. So this is something I really truly can't get used to. So let's write test, T-E-S-T. You see on the T, the last T popped up the entire word. So you have to swipe up to complete the word. It really takes some muscle memory to get used to this. Let's try it again. Let's do something like hello, H-E-L-L. Now over the O will be the last word, so you just hit the O, slide up. There it is. Listen, it is a nice feature. I can see people really flying on this thing. It's just not for me. At that point, I would prefer physical keyboard, which is why I think the Q10 will actually be a better device for BlackBerry in general than the Z10. But the keyboard's actually really good. It's very nice to type on par with the iPhone, and not as comfortable as my Windows phone, because I find I can type on my Lumia without actually looking at the keys. I can almost do it with the BlackBerry. So kudos to them. They really did a good job with the BlackBerry on the keyboard and the Z10. I've got no complaints there. In terms of BlackBerry World, you know, they came out and made some bold statements. They'd have over 7,000 apps available, and yeah, I raised my eyebrow. What possible 7,000 apps could you have at launch? And come to find out, a lot of these things were web apps and portals to web browsers, so on and so forth. Listen, starting over is never easy to do. We get that, and we really shouldn't be hard on BlackBerry because of this. And this is coming from a Windows phone guy. I know what it's like to go through this, to get something you've been waiting for so long, and then there's no apps in the App Store. You're like, what the hell? It's not that bad. You know, they've got some. They got Google Talk, and that actually gets integrated into the notifications hub, and you know, you've got WhatsApp. There's some good stuff here. It's gonna take a while for them to populate a lot of the premium apps, but you can look for those coming. Listen, I've started over once with Windows Phone. I don't have a problem starting over here. Now, there's just so much more to offer with this BlackBerry 10 OS, and I gotta give it to them. I like a lot of how they've polished the OS and what they've done. All in all, who's this device for? If you've been waiting for a BlackBerry, the reboot of the BlackBerry series for a few years, then this device is for you. You're holding on to your bold, your curve, this device is for you. If you just want to try something new and you don't require much from the smartphone world, then this device is for you. It's not a bad device, and the key to really appreciating this BlackBerry experience is to not compare it to anything else on the market. Once you do that, then this is a very capable phone, very capable device. It does a good job at handling your messages. It does a good job at multitasking. It's even got the voice control that, you know, you hold the two middle buttons. That's there. The universal search is there. The camera is good. There isn't really much to complain about here other than the fact that it's not something else on the market. So if you're out there and you're wondering about the device, go to the store, hold it, see what it's like, try it out for a few days. You may or may not like it. The App Store may not be up to par if you're an app person, and that's fine. But BlackBerry definitely did hit the mark with this device. Out of a 5, I'm going to give it a solid 3. And not a 3 meaning it's not good or it's terrible. A 3 meaning it's a good device. And with the new 10.1 that's soon to be released, it's only going to get better. So kudos to RIM for pulling this out. Very good 1.0 attempt, and I think people appreciate it for what it was. Just give it a chance. It's Ramon. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. If you have one, I want to know if you agree or disagree. If you're thinking about get one, ask me about your concerns, and we'll talk about it in the comment section. Don't forget, like the video if you like the review. Subscribe to the channel. We got plenty more where this came from. I'm out of here. Peace.
You know what's in this. Quick start tells you what to do, how to do it. Alright, just move that aside, and there you have it. Samsung Galaxy 4 S4, and right along the front, that's AT&T's thing, texting and driving. It can wait. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be like yours truly and text while you drive. No, I'm just kidding. But